Dear ladies, may I ask you to scoot over there, please? Yes. Sksenk, sksenk, sksenk. Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marina Soghomonyan, and I'm going to be your host throughout this conference. On behalf of British Council Armenia and our partners within this conference, the Ministry of Education, Science, Culture and Sports of Armenia, the National Center for Education, Development and Innovation, and Khachatur Abovian Armenian State Pedagogical University, I wish to extend our warm welcome and thank you to you all present here, and those of you joining us online for participating in the Teaching for Success 2026 conference, Armenia's biggest professional development event for English educators and teachers. This year, we have over 1,200 registrations, which is evidence of the importance you give to this event annually. And we are grateful to you for your trust to British Council and the commitment to your own professional development. As you know, this year's theme is quality for teaching, teaching for quality and for, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, a bit lucky. Quality teaching for quality learning, evidence, innovation, impact in support of Armenian national CPD framework. Accordingly, we have planned 2 packed days for you to contribute to this theme and agenda. And now, without further ado, I would like to invite on stage Addeh Hovassapian, British Council Armenia Country Director, for his welcome remarks and setting the scene for the conference. Addeh, over to you.
Dear Minister Andreasyan, dear Ambassador Cole, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and a very warm welcome to every single one of you in this room and those of you joining us online through live streaming to British Council Armenia's 2026 edition of Teaching for Success annual conference. This is indeed the biggest gathering of Armenian English language teachers and educators for professional development, as is witnessed with this full house and everybody else who's standing in the behind. So I apologize that we don't have room to accommodate you, but I hope during the day this will ease and you will manage to attend all other sessions. I think most of you know that before anything else, I used to be an English language teacher myself. A role that I approached with great passion and a strong commitment to make sure that my every lesson counted and contributed to my students' learning. If I'm honest with you, despite all my preparation and good intentions, there were several occasions when my lessons fell short. Either they didn't work out or they unfolded completely different from what I had imagined. The good news is that I also had a lot of success moments. Moments when things clicked. My planned lesson worked seamlessly. My assigned task turned silence into interaction. My thoughtful feedback made my students smile or boosted their confidence. So basically, small changes which made a big difference. I believe and I hope that you are experiencing such success moments every day, and this is a continuing process. But why am I pointing this out? Well, to be honest, I believe that these success moments don't happen by chance. They happen because we as teachers continuously learn and improve. These moments happen because we know that teaching is a profession built on reflection, growth, and courage. Courage to adapt, courage to try new perspectives, and courage to stay relevant and curious in a role and in a field that constantly evolving, or maybe not. Jeremy is going to talk about that. And hence requires us to constantly refine not only our pedagogical skills, but also our professional adaptability and judgment. So this is why, over the past few years, British Council Armenia has really focused on continuing professional development as the main area of work for us. Specifically, over the past year, with the support of Ministry of Education, Science, Culture, and Sports, and also National Center for Education Development and Innovation, we have continued our work on strengthening our national CPD frameworks for teachers, teacher educators, and school leaders. Our main objective is to make sure that we enable you not only to respond to the changes, but to shape them. We have also been working to offer you with access to high quality resources, a space for professional dialogue, and an opportunity to learn from one another. I think many of you have attended our projects, including Online Teacher Community and so many others. We've been doing all this work, but to be honest, we very well acknowledge that no framework, no policy, no intervention is meaningful without engaged teachers like you. So this conference is also about you and makes part of that wider ecosystem of professional growth, which actually brings me to the theme of this conference, which is quality teaching for quality learning, evidence, innovation, impact. And the reason we've chosen this theme is that, again, we believe that teaching, or quality teaching actually, doesn't happen or doesn't rely only on intuition. It is based on evidence. It is grounded in understanding what is working and how and why. It is also embracing innovation, not for the sake of creating a change in the classroom, but to respond to the realities of our classroom and realities of the world that we are living in. And ultimately, quality teaching is about impact. Real, measurable progress of our students' confidence, learning, and outcomes. And of course, all this is not happening again accidentally. Quality learning happens when we are deliberate, reflective, and invest in our professional development. So I very much hope that this conference is going to contribute to this theme and vision and will enable you to have a space to exchange ideas, to challenge your assumptions, and also make sure that you network with one another to learn from each other. On this note, obviously, we want to help you, and that's why we have put together a very rich and diverse program, which I hope you've seen in your program booklets. Today and tomorrow, you will have the chance to attend more than 20 workshops delivered by your peers. We have aligned all these workshops to the National CPD Framework Professional Practices. We have to attend two signature events. One of them is a quiz on ELT, just to challenge your ELT wit. So we'll see how well you're doing. And of course, our ELT Voice event is back, which is about sharing success stories and inspiring experiences by your peers. But last, and of course not least, you are the privileged teachers who will have the opportunity to learn from the insights and experience of and expertise of one of the most influential figures, and actually one of the pioneers of English language teaching methodology, our guest speaker, Jeremy Harmer. I think some of you know that actually this is not the first time Jeremy is visiting Armenia. He was in Armenia almost a decade ago, in 2017, which interestingly enough brings me back to my teacher journey. I started teaching English in 2007, 10 years before that visit. And the very first book that I read to get prepared for my classroom was How to Teach English by Jeremy Harmer. So Jeremy, welcome back to Armenia, and thank you so much for visiting. In conclusion, as always, my sincere gratitude to the Ministry of Education, Science, Culture and Sports, NCDI, and our partner, Armenian State Pedagogical University, for their continuous support and collaboration within our project. Obviously, we won't be able to do any of the work that we are doing without your support, so thank you so much. And also thank you for your shared belief in teacher development, because we believe teachers are the cornerstone of quality education. Thank you so much. I wish you all a very inspiring and meaningful conference, and thank you for joining us in this journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Addeh, for your remarks. Now I would like to invite here Ms. Zhanna Andreasyan, the Minister of Education, Science, Culture, and Sports of Armenia, for her opening remarks. Please.
Thank you. I'll speak in Armenian. Հարգարժան Տիկին դեսպան, հարգելի պարոն Hovassapian, հարգելի գործընկերներ, սիրելի ուսուցիչներ։ Իսկապես ինձ շատ հաճելի է արդեն ավանդույթ դառնալով արձանագրել, որ երբ որ մենք ուսուցչական աշխատաժողովների եւ համաժողովների մասին ենք խոսում, որևէ տարածք չի հերիքում ուսուցիչների մասնակցությունը ընդգրկելու եւ ապահովելու համար։ Եվ սա թերևս ամենակարևոր եւ ամենաուրախալի փաստերից է, որ բոլոր այն հարթակները, որտեղ մենք հնարավորություն ունենք միմյանց հետ մեր փորձը կիսել, խոսել մեր հաջողությունների եւ դժվարությունների մասին, լսել փորձառու մասնագետների, ովքեր ներկայացնում են նոր մոտեցումներ եւ հնարավորություններ ուսուցչի դժվար գործը փոքր-ինչ դյուրին դարձնելու համար, միջավայրերը չեն բավարարում։ Եվ սա նշանակում է, որ ուսուցչական համայնքը ամենաակտիվ սովորող համայնքն է, ինչի առիթով բոլորի շնորհավորում եմ։ Բայց շատ կարևորում եմ նաև, որ այս քննարկումներից մենք իսկապես մեզ հետ տանենք այն, ինչը մեզ օգնելու է հաջորդ օրը սկսվող առօրյայում, որովհետև այո, այս հարթակները կարևոր են, բայց ավելի կարևոր է, որ դրանք չմնան իրադարձության մակարդակում, որ դրանք դառնան մեր ուսուցչական դասավանդման պրակտիկաները վերափոխող ու փոխող հարթակներ։ Ու ես հուսով եմ, որ այստեղ ձեր ներկայությունը, ձեր շաբաթը եւ կիրակին հանգստանալու փոխարեն սովորելով անցկացնելու այս մղումը, իսկապես ձերնից հետո երկուշաբթի, երեքշաբթի, չորեքշաբթի օրերին դառնում է մի բան, որը ամեն անգամ դասարան մտնելիս ձեզ ուղեկցում է, ձեր մտքում է եւ օգնում է նաեւ ձեզ այդ ամենօրյա աշխատանքը անելու։ Եվ ուզում եմ իսկապես շնորհակալություն հայտնել այդ աշխատանքի համար եւ ուզում եմ շնորհակալություն հայտնել նաեւ բրիտանական խորհրդին այս շարունակական համագործակցության համար։ Ես թերևս չեմ չափազանցնի ասելով, որ ուսուցչի մասնագիտական զարգացման համակարգի բարեփոխումը մեր համատեղ բարեփոխումն է։ Բրիտանական խորհրդի, բրիտանական կառավարության աջակցությամբ մենք միասին արդեն մի քանի տարի շարունակ նախաձեռնել ենք համակարգային մեծ փոփոխություններ եւ ես ուրախ եմ նաեւ, որ անգլերենի ուսուցիչները դարձել են այդ փոփոխությունների առաջամարտիկները, որովհետեւ բոլոր այն փոփոխությունները, որոնք այնուհետեւ տարածվել են ամբողջ համակարգում, նաև մյուս առարկաների ուսուցիչների վրա մենք հնարավորություն ենք ունեցել ի սկզբանե բրիտանական խորհրդի ծրագրերով տարբեր միջոցառումների շրջանակներում առաջին հերթին քննարկել ու կիսել ձեզ հետ, տեսնել թե ինչպես եք դուք այդ փոփոխությունների առաջարկը իրացնում, ինչ առաջարկներ ու դիտարկումներ ունեք եւ նաեւ ձեր ակտիվ մասնակցությունն է մեզ հնարավորություն տվել համակարգային այդ բարեփոխումները շարունակելու։ Ու ես ուրախ եմ, որ այսօր մենք ձեզ հետ միասին գտնվում ենք մի փուլում, երբ որ մեր համատեղ աշխատանքը, իսկ դա մեր համատեղ աշխատանքն է, արդեն իսկ ճանաչվում է օրինակելի։ Եվ Հայաստանում ուսուցիչների մասնագիտական զարգացման համակարգի բարեփոխումը դիտվում է ուսանելի նաև մյուս երկրների համար։ Եվ սա իսկապես մեզ բոլորիս հուշում է, որ այն ինչ որ մենք անում ենք, միայն դժվարությունների մասին չի, որտեղ բարեփոխումները ամենահաճախը դառնում են դժվարությունների շուրջ խոսակցություններ եւ այդպես էլ պիտի լինի։ Բարեփոխումները դառնում են նաեւ մեր հաջողությունների պատմությունը։ Ու այստեղ նստած շատերը ունեք կիսելու ձեր հաջողությունների պատմությունը մյուսների հետ եւ այս երկու օրերի ընթացքում դա նույնպես լինելու է օրակարգի մասը ու ես շատ ուրախ եմ, որ այդ հաջողությունների պատմությունները նաև այսպիսով կդառնան տեսանելի, ուսանելի եւ մեր մյուս ուսուցիչներն էլ կկարողանան դրանից սովորել։ Եվ թերևս ամփոփելով կուզեի խոսել մի շատ կարևոր հարցի մասին։ Պարոն Հովասապյանը արդեն նշեց, ուսուցչի մասնագիտությունը երբեք հեշտ չի եղել, բայց թույլ տվեք ասել, որ այս օրերին հատկապես ուսուցիչների եւ դասավանդման առաջ ընդհանրապես կանգնած են շատ լուրջ մարտահրավերներ։ Մենք մի իրավիճակում ենք, երբ որ դպրոցը չունի մենաշնոր, եւ ես սա շատ մեղմ եմ ասում։ Մենք մի իրավիճակում ենք, երբ որ սովորելու եւ կրթական գործընթացները ունեն բազմաթիվ խոչընդոտներ։ Դրանք տեղեկատվական բազմազան աղբյուրներն են, տարբեր միջավայրերն են, որոնք շեղում են նաեւ մեր երեխաների եւ սովորողների ուշադրությունը, եւ երբ որ մենք մտնում ենք դասարան, մենք չենք գործ ունենում միայն երեխայի հետ, մենք գործ ենք ունենում այդ ամբողջ միջավայրի հետ, եւ իսկապես շատ բարդ է կառավարել այդ իրավիճակը եւ կարողանալ հասնել այն վերջնարդյունքներին, որ դրված են, որովհետեւ դպրոցը վակուումի մեջ չի։ Երբ որ մենք փակում ենք դասարանի դուռը, այդ ամենը ոչ միտեղ չի անհետանում։ Ինչպես կառավարել այդ գործընթացը, ինչպես հասնել նրան, որ սովորելը այս իրավիճակում շարունակի լինել արդյունավետ, ու մենք իսկապես ունենանք որակյալ դասավանդում եւ որակյալ ուսումնառություն, սա շատ լուրջ մարտահրավեր է։ Եվ սա մի հարց է, որի շուրջ մենք պիտի միասին խոսենք, ու այս համաժողովը հենց այդ մասին խոսելու համաժողով է։ Որևէ անհարմարություն չկա խոստովանել սեփական դժվարությունները։ Խնդիրները սկսում են լուծվել այն կետից, երբ որ մենք ձևակերպում ենք դրան։ Իսկ դրանք ձևակերպելու համար մենք պետք է ընդունենք, որ ունենք դժվարություններ։ Եվ պետք է նաև ընդունենք, որ մեր իմացած ձևերով այդ դժվարությունները հաղթահարելը իրատեսական չի։ Եվ մենք պետք է բաց լինենք հասկանալու, թե որ ձևերն են, որ գալու են մեզ օգնելու այդ դժվարությունները հաղթահարելու ճանապարհին։ Փոփոխությունների առաջ բաց լինելը, դրանք շատ լավ քննարկելը, փորձարկելը եւ մտածված կերպով իրականացնելն է, որ մեզ պիտի տանի հաջողության։ Ու այսօր ձեր ներկայությունը վկայում է, որ մենք ճիշտ ճանապարհին ենք եւ բոլորիս մաղթում եմ արդյունավետ ու հաջող ընթացք։ Եվս մեկ անգամ շնորհակալություն այս շատ կարևոր նախաձեռնության եւ շարունակական աշխատանքի համար եւ հուսով եմ, որ այս երկու օրերի ավարտին մենք գարունը կդիմավորենք նոր ոգևորությամբ, նոր լավատեսությամբ եւ երկուշաբթի օրը առավոտյան նոր մոտիվացիայով դասարան մտնելու պատրաստակամությամբ։ Շնորհակալություն, շնորհավորում եմ բոլորին։
Thank you so much for your speech, Ms. Andreasyan. Now I would like to welcome here Her Majesty Ambassador for her opening remarks. Please.
Բարի լույս, շնորհակալություն Տիկին նախարար եւ Addeh, շատ ուրախ եմ այստեղ լինելու համար։ Փորձում եմ սովորել հայերեն։ Մեսի շատ, բայց ես եմ շատ վատ ուսուցիչ, ուսանող, դուք եք ուսուցիչ։ Շատ դժվար է սովորել նոր լեզու։ I'm going to switch to English. Partly because I forget all the vocabulary as I'm speaking, as you just saw. But it is really hard to learn a foreign language. Armenian is my fourth, I think. And I'm a terrible student. I don't concentrate. I don't work very hard. I like to chat, which is great once I learn the language. But before that, not so much. But what I have learned in 4 languages is how much of a difference my teachers make. How much they can make me feel more enthusiastic. How much they can use different methodologies to help me counter those things that make me a bad student. and how much they can imbue with me the enthusiasm for the language, which is what Addeh was talking about earlier. So you guys are incredibly important to us, all of us, but particularly to the UK, because every student you reach is a bridge between my country, my culture, and your country and your culture. And that's irreplaceable. It's priceless. So a big thank you. I also have to say a big thank you to all of you as teachers. I once, a long time ago, tried to help my nephew with his homework, and all I can say, you guys are heroes every day. So, why are you here with the British government here? Why are we supporting this conference? Well, I've just explained how important you guys are, but why us? Why not the Americans? And I think one of the things that we can do, we both share a language. There's some great quotes about how it's different, but I won't go into that. But the UK has always excelled in language teaching, and English language teaching in particular. And that's because our teachers and our pedagogical institutions are not afraid of innovation. They lead the way in coming up with innovative ways to teach language. We understand how important professional development is, that you don't get your degree, go into the classroom as a fully finished specimen. I've been in the Foreign Office 36 years. I'm still not really the best diplomat, but I know that every day I learn. And I'm sure it's the same for you guys. And I expect your students probably teach you as much as you teach them, but we can also give you the instruments and the tools to help you reach those students even more easily, to help them achieve their success and their goals. And that's what we're here for today. And I'm very grateful to Jeremy for coming back to Armenia. As Addeh explained, Jeremy is genuinely the expert in all of this. So I know that today's conference is going to really benefit from his attendance. So thank you, Jeremy. And thank you, Minister, as well. You always support our ambitions in this area. Our cooperation on education is so important to us, and we really value the professional and expert way your ministry helps us. So thank you for that. And finally, another thank you to you all for coming out on your weekends. I know how I felt this morning getting up, so I can only imagine. But thank you so much for coming out on your weekends in such huge numbers. Thank you to everyone who's hanging out in the corridor desperately trying to listen. So kudos. And I hope that you have a really successful 2 days. And that on Monday morning, when you're still a bit tired because you didn't get the weekend you normally get, nonetheless, you carry even more passion and even more enthusiasm for teaching English. So thank you.
Thank you so much, dear Ambassador. Now, next on the agenda, we have another opening speech by Addeh Hovassapian to launch newly published Armenia's Teacher CPD Framework Guide. Please, Addeh, over to you.
Great. So, good morning, everyone, again. It's me again. And as I indicated in my opening remark, we always try to organize this conference on an annual basis as a platform for your professional development. But I think this conference is also a platform for us to collectively celebrate our successes and achievements. I think it was in 2022 when I stood on this stage and announced or introduced the work that we were doing to develop a national continuing professional development framework for Armenia. In 2023, I stood on the same stage and announced that we have aligned our conference theme and all the workshops to this CPD framework. And today, I'm proud to stand here and announce that we have now published our very own national Armenian CPD framework manual for the teachers, which is not only for you, but as Minister said, this is for us to share with the world we are doing. So congratulations to all of us. But I think I would like to talk about the manual a little bit in more detail so that you know what you're getting. So we produced this manual, we meaning the British Council, to make sure that you as teachers can benefit from it in two ways. First of all, we want to make sure that this CPD framework is not on the paper in text format. So it is a visual representation of the CPD framework. But more importantly, it is about helping you to make use of it proactively. This manual aims to provide you with a very clear, structured, and accessible explanation of what CPD framework is, and as I said, more importantly, how you can use it to continuously invest in your professional development. We know that you're going through a lot of formal attestation processes, but this is really more about you taking ownership of your own professional development. This is the updated visual presentation of our continuing professional development framework. Updated because we have made some changes to make sure that it aligns with the recent changes that Ministry of Education has introduced into the framework. What you can see in this framework is basically you, the teacher, at the heart of the professional development practice. Let me see if I can use my laser. So this is you at the center of your professional development. And then, of course, we have our competency levels, which are moving from foundation level to expert level. And this is represented by these outward-looking arrows going outside. We have 12 professional practices, which are outlined at the outer circle. And then, of course, we have development domains, which we have color-coded. And basically, these are grouping these professional practices. Now, again, to expand on this and refresh your memories, very quickly, competency levels. These are the your current or expected level of competency or knowledge within a specific professional practice or development domain. Now, the key thing for you to remember is that these levels are not supposed to define you as a teacher. So we don't say you are a foundation level teacher, you are an expert level teacher. We say you are a teacher with a foundation level expertise in using AI, for example, in your classroom, but you may be a teacher with expert level knowledge and expertise when it comes to lesson planning or managing resources or methodology. So you can have a jagged profile. You don't need to be a perfect teacher. You can have strengths and you can have areas in need for development. We also have 12 professional practices. These are specific sets of skills that you either have or you need to develop and, more importantly, utilize in the classroom to offer quality teaching. Now, these 12 professional practices are based on global research. Nothing extraordinary or new in this list, probably, because this is what you're doing every single day and you're dealing with all these professional practices. But I think the great thing about having this breakdown is that it's very flexible. So we can constantly change things as things develop. We can remove professional practices if they are so obvious and basic, and we can add new ones like AI or any other teacher identity, agency, and new topics which are popping up. So it is a very flexible approach. And of course, we have development domains, which are knowledge areas. These knowledge areas, we have 4 at this stage. So we have subject expertise, classroom practice, learner support, self and community empowerment. And the objective for these development domains is to make your life a bit easier and group these professional practices so that you can understand that what are the areas I need to invest time, resources, and effort. And this is how we have grouped them. You have it in the manual. So basically, based on the color coding, you will see which professional practice goes under which development domain. And again, putting this all together, we have the visual, which I hope is helpful. Now, I really hope that you're going to make use of this framework. This conference is fully aligned to the framework as well. So you will see all the professional practices and development domains. But I think what we want to emphasize here is that it's not only about having this manual, it's also about using the tools and systems that we have developed. There are 3 tools included in the manual. The first one is a full portfolio of development domains, which basically describe what development domains are, what are the professional practices under each, and how you can work towards them. Then we have, that's Annex 1. Annex 2 is about a detailed description of professional practices as can-do statements as developed by the Ministry of Education. So it is high-level description of what you're expected to be doing under each professional practice. And finally, we have the needs analysis tool, again developed by the Ministry of Education, which is supposed to help you understand where you are right now and where you want to be over the next few years or whenever you want. Now, how you have to use this, very simple approach. You understand the framework, you understand all its details, and basically you go to the evaluation tool, you start answering to the questions, yes, I can do this, no, I can't do this. And when you say, no, I can't do this, that's the level when you, which you want to focus on, and basically focus on the activities that you want to complete. But probably the next question for you is, well, I understand the framework, I did the evaluation, where do I find resources? Do not worry, because we got you covered, at least English language teachers. I think most of you are familiar with Teaching English website by the British Council. This is home to 7 million English language teachers globally, and it offers you boundless resources, including training, courses, conferences, events, resources, lesson plans, everything you can imagine and everything you need in one place. So please do visit this website, which is actually available on your participant cards on the back side. If you flip it, you will see a QR code and you can easily access it whenever you need it. I think this much, very short and sweet. Congratulations to all of us. I hope that you will really make use of this framework. But before I wrap up, I would like to do our now already annual pulse check to make sure that you are with me, we're not losing you, and do a little bit of exercise. Can you please raise your left hand if you right now, right here, promise me that you're going to make use of this framework? Left hand. Pushing you to promise me. Thank you. Can you please raise your right hand if this is not your first Teaching for Success conference? Amazing. Everybody's back. Thank you. Can you please raise your both hands if you're ready to kick off the day and go with the sessions? And put your hands together. Thank you so much. Enjoy the conference.
Thank you, Addeh, for your presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the opening part of our conference. We are grateful to all our speakers. Now we are going to have a 15-minute short break, after which we will have our first plenary speech by Mr. Jeremy Harmer. But before we do so, let me remind you some essential housekeeping and safety matters to ensure a productive and safe experience tailored to your individual needs. So, mobile phones. Kindly ensure that your mobile phones are switched to silent mode or turned off during sessions to minimize distributions and allow everyone to fully engage with the content. Registrations. If you haven't already done so, please ensure you do your on-site registration process to access all the conference amenities and sessions smoothly, as well as to receive a certificate of attendance at the end of the event. Wearing cards, don't forget to wear your conference cards at all times. Conference booklets and sessions. Make sure you've obtained your conference booklets containing essential information and schedules, read the planned sessions. Familiarize yourself with the layout of the venue during the breaks, including the locations of the designated concurrent session rooms. Exits and safety procedures. Take a moment to familiarize yourself with the nearest emergency exits, and should you need any help, please let the British Council team know. To ensure a smooth and enriching experience for everyone involved, here are a few gentle reminders. Punctuality is key. Please arrive on time for sessions to avoid distributions and to make the most out of your time. Please be informed that in the main hall, you will have the opportunity to visit 2 publishing house stands, Manmar and Andreasyan Publishing House. Feel free to approach them, explore the latest English teaching and learning books, resources, and materials, and ask any questions about their offerings. Last but not least, let's promote an environment of respect and active participation. So I encourage you to engage with speakers and fellow attendees respectfully, ask questions, and contribute actively to discussions. Thank you for your attention, and let's make the most out of this incredible opportunity to learn and connect. Enjoy your break.